Hi, everybody. If this were a face-to-face class, I would be giving a little spiel about my experience with math and how it informs what I do in the classroom. Even though this is online, I still want to share this with you because it shapes everything that you're going to see in this class. So first of all, my name is Mandy Malden, and I've been teaching in the math classroom. Let's see, I'm entering my 16th year, and I've been at colleges for 21. I still can't believe I'm old enough to have been doing anything for 21 years. And what's unique is that when I was growing up, and actually until my first year in college, math was by far my least favorite subject. I am not one that loved math and just naturally ended up being a math professor. So I have a story that I always like to share because it's such a good example of this. So when I was first offered the opportunity to teach at my local college, I was at a family get together and we were all around this great big table. And my uncle was sitting across the table from me, and there was a window behind him. And I told everybody, hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be starting to teach math this spring quarter at the local college. My uncle didn't say a word. He turns around, he looks out the window, and then turns back to me and says, oh, pigs do fly. So everybody at that table was shocked, probably at about as much as I was that I would end up teaching in a college math class. But here's the thing. It has informed how I understand the challenges that students have. So often, students come into a math classroom afraid of the material. There's a sense that I can't do math, I'm never going to be able to succeed at this subject, or I just don't like it. And I experienced all of that. But there's nothing unique about me. I'm not special, right? I was able to make the transition from feeling that way about math to sitting where I am today. And I feel, well, it's my goal and it's my responsibility to create classes that really build in that understanding. So there's some things that you'll notice that maybe are different than traditional classes. I don't just teach content. In fact, I tell students that about 25% of what I do is teach the content. I use the content for the other 75%, which is teaching students how to build confidence, how to reduce the impact of anxiety, and also how to improve their study strategies. So how do I do that? What does it look like? Well, first of all, I introduce an understanding of how our brain works. And I'm going to do just a brief description because I want you to hold on to this as you're moving forward and when you encounter challenge, because when you're learning, you're going to be challenged. And instead of maybe going to that place of, oh, here we go again, once again, I don't understand what I'm doing, I want you to think about what I'm about to share with you. And hopefully it will give you some patience and some tools to help with you working through those feelings of challenge. So here's what I want you to understand about the brain. We have something called working memory, and working memory is at our frontal lobe, and it is responsible for problem solving and recall. So when you think about math, what does it require? Well, both problem solving and recall. The thing about working memory is that it is impacted hugely by stress and anxiety. So if you've ever spent a bunch of time studying for a test and then you sit down for that test and it's like you've never seen this stuff before, has that ever happened to you? I know it has for me. It doesn't mean you didn't learn it. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It means that your stress and anxiety level has put you into working memory overload. So the key is to get out of the working memory overload. It's actually ideal to not get in there the first place, but it happens. So if that happens to you, or if you're studying and you start feeling like you can't remember anything. You are in working memory overload, and the number one thing to do is stop. I know that seems counterintuitive. I would just keep working harder and harder and harder and get more and more frustrated and get less and less right. Okay, so stop, take a few breaths, and then start again. And don't, well, I can say don't think these things. Observe the thoughts that you're having when you're in this space. Are you judging yourself? Are you feeling frustrated with yourself? Are things that people have said in the past that maybe were negative coming to mind? Notice those and start recognizing and reminding yourself that actually none of that is true. What's true is I'm in working memory overload and I need to reduce my anxiety so that I can get back to where my brain is functioning. In this class, by completing everything that I include, you will be learning strategies for doing that. You will also be doing some reflection, which will allow you to think about, well, why am I thinking about math the way that I am? And some of you may have enjoyed math and still do, and that is wonderful. These reflections are still very valuable in really getting a sense of, okay, if and when I feel challenged in math, even if I enjoy it, how do I deal with it? Right? How do I work through that? Does it impact me? Are there things that work better than others? So really, all of this is to say that this is the very beginning of shifting how you think about math and your relationship with it. So again, I'm someone that came from really being challenged in math. I wanted to give up so many times. But with the things you're going to learn in this class, those are the things that, again, got me to where I am today. So step one, the first time you feel that challenge or the first time you start thinking about any doubt that maybe you've had in the past, I want you to notice it, and then I want you to think, I'm in working memory overload. If you can do that, you will be on a huge step for starting this transformation that can happen in this class because of my own experience and because of what you will see in the class. So I really look forward to working with you, and I will see you soon.